I'm Tanaya J. I'm from New York City, born and raised all my life. And I've been doing makeup for over 10 plus years in the industry. I started out self-taught, did not go to school for makeup. In fact, I went to college for English writing and history, and always loved, yes, located in New York. Um, I love makeup, and I've always loved makeup since I was a kid, and decided around 2000, wow, about 6 years ago, to fully go full time with makeup and immerse myself in the beauty industry. And so here I am, over 10 years later, doing makeup as a full time pro makeup artist, teaching and educating. I also have a background with Sephora as a national trainer for them. So that's where I get all my beauty education from and all the stuff that I learned. And it's what makes me really passionate about being able to teach and educate women on makeup.
Step into Corinne's fashion world. We can make a difference because our world is your world. So live your dreams and become a part of Corinne's fashion world.
Latino neighborhood, and all the girls had, good silky hair, and they were light, and I was dark, and I'm like, man, like how can I stand out from the crowd? And so my love for art and makeup and being able to see myself as something different really helped me to really love it even more. So when I got to high school, and then especially in college, I think is where the gift really developed. My friends would ask me to do their makeup. Never once called myself a makeup artist because I truly didn't. I felt like people who were makeup artists had street cred. Like they had clients and they had, photos, and they were doing all kinds of great work. And I was just doing my friend's makeup to go out. And so a good friend of mine, it's true, a good friend of mine told me some years after, she's like, you should really do this,
Oh,
Nia. You should
okay.
really do it. You're good enough. And I was like, I don't know. But you know what? I launched out into the deep and I did it. So that's what made me really go for it. That's how I really, started to love it. Like skin is my
Yeah.
thing. And I think that before your makeup and any eyeshadow or anything that you're going to do with your face ever, comes into play, the way that you apply your foundation and the way that you evenly cover and make the skin look like skin is really, really important to me. And that is, I believe, 90%. If you think about skin, your skin is 90% of your face. And so if you think
Mhm.
about if your skin looks amazing, then your makeup is going to look amazing. So one of my favorite things to
Right.
do when it comes to foundation is to use something. I brought it on here so I can show you guys, but this is one of my favorite products. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a beauty amplifier by Sephora. Wonderful product. But what it does is it adds an enhancement to the skin. So no matter what skin tone you are, it'll pick up
Oh,
whatever
okay.
flex of color it is, and it'll amplify your complexion before you put your foundation on. So it looks like this. It has like this color to it. And when you rub it and blend it in, it's going to give the skin a gorgeous glow, and it
Mhm.
makes sense for whatever complexion you are. And it comes in one tone. Do you see that? So you see how it's giving the skin already a pump up, right? And it's already kind of doing half the battle for you. So we're always talking
I
about
see
that
it.
glow
Wow.
and having that glow up, and everybody wants to look glowy. You can achieve that before even having to use an
Mm-hmm.
illuminizer or like a powdery highlighter that everyone that I see on social media likes to put all over. But this is something fantastic that you can use, and it makes sense for all skin tones,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
see the color? It's amazing,
Wow. Look at that, everybody.
right? It's
Give us some
fantastic.
hearts.
Yeah.
Give us some hearts. Oh, this is great information. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. Can everyone?
Before you use this product, as you can see, it dries down to almost, it has no sort of movement or oil in it or moisture in it. So I would recommend, if you're dry, to go ahead and make sure that you put on your moisturizer. If you're oily, you can still add some mattifying to certain places of your face. But this is great because it's not going to disturb whatever makeup you put on top of it at all, because as you can see, it really has nothing in it that's going to cause the makeup to slip or move around. So anybody can use it, dry, oily, combination. It doesn't matter. You can use this product.
Oh,
I mix it. Let's say you have dry skin. So
Whoa.
this would be a great one for you, Corinne. This Marc Jacobs coconut water based primer. Coconut water we know is very hydrating, so this would be fantastic for somebody with dry
Oh,
skin. So
okay.
you can use this first and then this second as your primer and then your foundation. My favorite tips is for people like me whose eyeliner is always bleeding. I don't know how many people on live tonight have bleeding liner. By the end of the day, you are down here, it looks raccoony, you look like somebody
Mm.
punched you in the eye, and it looks a mess. And so one of the great things I like to do with my eyeshadow primer, so I'm using the Urban Decay one, which is fantastic in terms of being able to do this trick that I'm going to tell you, and the paddle on it is great too for doing this. So if you have liner that bleeds and your lower lash line gets a little oily, your lids get oily, and I know this, I'm oily, so it happens. Even if you're dry, this can tend to happen if you have watery eyes. You can place a little bit of this. You could go right from the paddle. I'm not going to do it on because I have liner on now, but you place this right in the bottom lash line, really like a small amount, push it in. You can do it 360 around your eye, and then you can go ahead and put whatever eyeshadow eyeliner you're going to do, and it will stop it from running and smudging as the day goes on. Eye cream is great because it's already hydrating, so it's going to help to smooth the lid out, and that's what's causing the fine lines to become so pronounced because the skin is dry. And so if you just hydrate, yeah, eye cream, I'm telling you, break down as the day goes on. You might not be able to wear it as long as you want to, so mixing it with the primer will give you the lengthening in it as well. Yeah, that'll keep it on, because you don't want to go as the day goes and you end up with that crease in your eyeshadow and you looked cute at 9 a.m. and now you look a mess at 9 p.m. You know, so
Yeah.
makeup for everyday women. I love the glam, I love the slay and the beat, but I think that everyday women is kind of where my heart beats stronger, because they just want to look, you know, polished and look good. And you know, they struggle to really figure out what that thing is. So I always share with them that there are actually 3 things that you need to have, right? And this is what's really gonna pull your look together. Actually, let me take that back. There's 5 things that you need to have in your little makeup bag, okay? The first thing, 5 things. You need to have something to even out your skin tone.
Okay,
That
ladies,
could
you
be
hear
a
this?
BB cream, you know, which is basically just a beauty balm with a little bit of color in it to even out the skin tone. It could be a tinted moisturizer. It does not have to be a full covering foundation if that's not your thing, right? So you don't have to have foundation, but you definitely need something to even out. It could also be powder. So if you like to wear powder, totally amazing, like totally good to do that. So you need 1, something to even out your skin tone. 2, you need to have something to fill in your brows a little bit, right? Because brows are the framing of the face. Come on, you can't go outside with your brows looking crazy.
Yes,
Like
indeed.
it's just, come on, hearts and thumbs up. You need to do something to fill in your brows. So that could be a brow pencil, a brow gel. Some people already have full brows, and you don't need to go crazy like Corinne and I have done and filled in our brow to the high heavens. But you can do a brow gel. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be crazy. You can do a little brow gel, fill in your brow, make sure they're nice and even and, you know, like looking polished. So that's the second thing. So you need something to even out your skin tone, something for your brow. You need mascara. Mascara is going to help to make those eyes open up. Not brown. And I know people love brown mascara, but black. Please get black mascara. I'm begging America. Please get black mascara, because black mascara.
Say that again, please.
Black.
Please say that
I
again.
know we love brown, and listen, brown, your lashes
Black
probably
mascara,
already, right?
lady.
So we want you to get black, and it's just about how you apply it. So you don't need to, you know, put on 17 layers of mascara, but with like 2 to 3 good coats of mascara are gonna be perfect for it. So first thing, we need something to even out our skin tone. We need something to fill in our brow, mascara. Corinne, did you have something you were gonna say? Okay. You also need a lipstick. Yes. Something with color.
No, go ahead. I'll wait till you finish.
A little bit of color, a little bit of tint, because lipstick really, honestly, if we were to meet, Corinne and I are wearing some really good colors, right? If we were to take away this lipstick, the rest of this makeup, right? So if I were to take all these lashes off and highlighter and contour and carrying on, And I really just had my brow done, my skin evened out, and my lash and a lip color. I would look really pulled together and polished. So go to Sephora, go to Ulta, wherever you need to go, and try on different lipsticks. I'm biased to Sephora a little bit, but when you go to Sephora, there's something that you can try on. There's like a technology where you can try on lipsticks without having to really try them on. You can actually do it from your phone too, and you can see what color looks good on you. But find a color that's gonna pop and make it look, make you feel confident with it on. So you need a good lipstick or lip gloss, right? So that's automatically going to make you look more polished and more awake. And then the last thing that you are going to need is just a little something to add a little bit of glow to your skin. That can be done with a spray, right? You can do that with a setting spray. You can do that with like a highlighting powder. And you can do that with a blush. So blush is my like fifth thing that you're going to need in your purse. Blush. And I know a lot of people don't like blush, especially women of color, because we think we're going to look like clowns. But there's so many great blush colors for us out there, especially if you're deeper skin tone. You might be trying out a fuchsia or the oranges. I have a good palette right here I want to show you guys. So this palette is fantastic. Again, not expensive at all. It's from Sephora collection. And as you can see, the tones, right? The tones are beautiful. So if you have...
Oh, wow, that looks nice.
Yes, that orange would be fantastic on a deeper,
like, especially that
skin tone. This one is called Spice Market Blush Palette. Instagram, it's Tanaya J Makeup. And on, I have 2 pages on Instagram, so I try to separate my makeup. And I encourage all makeup artists to do the same thing who are watching and want to get started. Just try to separate your work from your personal so that when clients come on, they're not confused as to what they're looking at. So I am on Instagram as Tanaya J Makeup, and then as Nay Diva if you want to follow my personal page, which I honestly feel like I post makeup on there too. And then also on Facebook. So those are the 2 social media sites that I use the most. This is going to sound crazy. Okay, so right now I am currently obsessed. As I said, I love foundation.
Which one do you use?
I have literally fallen in love with it. I love a lot of high-end things, and I like to spend money on foundation and things. But I am currently obsessed with Maybelline Fit Me. I am obsessed with Fit Me foundation. Absolutely. I think it is a very well-made foundation to be a drugstore brand, and it is tried and true. In terms of the coloring is right for deeper skin tones. The range of colors that it has when it gets to the deeper range, that brown to dark brown range, is fantastic. The in-between shades, the undertones, like they really got it right. And I'm like, okay, Maybelline, I see you. With the way that when they first launched Fit Me, it wasn't that good, and they only had a few shades, and now the shade range has improved. There's powders to match. The wearability of it is fantastic in terms of when it goes on the skin. You don't got to work hard for it to blend. You can always tell a good foundation when you're struggling to get it to, make sense in your skin. I'm actually wearing it today. So you see me. No filter on here. I'm right on Facebook Live. So this is Fit Me. I'm in, like I said, doing that for 10 years. And in recent years, it's blown up, and I've been working like crazy. But yes, I love freelancing. I encourage all freelance makeup artists to do it, stick to it, build your clientele, post photos of your work, continue to grow, take classes, all that stuff, so you can stay, in the trend.
Have you ever thought about owning your own makeup line?
And I will. So I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere that that I will have my own makeup line. I'm speaking it into existence. I want to have a line and start my line, obviously, as I talked about with complexion. So I want to start there. I think that's probably the most challenging thing that women, in my years of selling makeup and being a part of the industry, that I've seen that women struggle the most with figuring out what the right color is for their skin tone. And so I want to start my line there, and then branch out to having makeup studios and schools around the world. So that is like my ultimate goal, not only to have a line, but to have a makeup academy where artists like myself can come to learn. I'm totally self-taught, so I understand the importance of education and how that really does make you a better artist. So that's part of my love.
That's
Regular
awesome.
women who just want to learn, and who, you know, just want to get some additional tips and tricks on makeup. But then my passion really also lies in that up and coming makeup artist who's like, I want more technique. I want more information. I want to know how to work with different skin types and skin tones, because that is truly, truly important. If you're going to be a freelance makeup artist, you can't just know how to do black skin if you're a black woman, right? It's important, but you must know your portfolio must be diversified in order to be attractive to other types of clients. And that's how you get a very diverse clientele. Working at Sephora definitely helped me to do that, because I was working with different skin types, skin tones, ethnicities, eye shapes, ages, all kinds of things. And it was like, whoa, you know, when you first start doing it, it really blows your bangs back, because you're not, you know, if you're not used to doing something like that, it could be challenging. But I'm grateful because now I have the skill set to do it. But I think about how many artists don't have that. And then that's fine, right? Because they just start in their little circle and whatever is in their community and whoever they can get their hands on. But the academy, my hope and dream is that with my makeup academy, that you know, those artists will have the ability to have access to so many other types of people and things and models and all of that. So
got it, folks. Okay, Toya have a question. She said, I don't understand. Yeah, you can see it. She said, I don't moisturize, even though I've been told I should. My skin is pretty clear,
so,
but afraid
Toya,
of the effects of the long run. What do you ladies suggest? Toya. Listen, and I'm going to let her pick. Listen to me, Toya. You must moisturize. Moisturize to prevent the skin from aging. You may not see the fine lines now, but when you get to 60 and 70,
and aside from
you
the
aging,
aging,
we're going to
because
prevent
that's actually
it.
very
So
true, that
please,
you know, your skin needs hydration. And the more you starve your skin, Toya, of the hydration that it needs, the more skin concerns you'll have in the long run. And so things like fine lines and wrinkles, things like lack of elasticity in the skin, meaning that your skin does not look plump and healthy. Your skin will lose radiance, natural radiance, without you having to manipulate that with a product. So saggy skin, it'll cause your skin to not look plump and healthy. You know, young people look young because their skin is plump, not fat. It just means that it looks like, if you ever looked like at a juicy pear or a peach, right? One that's shriveled up you don't want, but the plump one, you're like, ooh, like it's juicy, it looks healthy on the outside. And that's what hydrating your skin is going to do for you. Get a good moisturizer, and there are lots of moisturizers on the line that are not damaging to the skin. I think that's a myth. And you know, when we grow up, our parents are like, girl, just put some Vaseline on your skin, you don't have no problems. And I think as women of color, we are missing the mark, because technically, you know, typically our skin, the darker we are, the smoother and the clearer our skin is. However, that does not mean that our skin is being treated properly on the under layers of the skin, which is where we need to be concerned. So moisturizer, and I'll share this with you about my skin, that no, did I grow up with acne? No, I never suffered with those things like you, Toya, like just clear skin all the time. However, I used to be able to fry a piece of chicken on his forehead and all over this. Like, I mean, you could fry a whole meal on his face. That's how oily I was. But I learned through going to an esthetician and getting my skin diagnosed, that my skin on the underlayers, and that's a more technical conversation for later, but that underlayer of skin was severely dehydrated. She told me that my skin looked like the Sahara Desert. I said, what? And it freaked me out. And she showed me under the lens what my skin looked like. And it was true. The little pieces in my skin were fractured. You know how like the desert looks all cracked up and dry? That's how my skin was on the underlayer. But the surface layer of my skin was oily. That oil was my skin's way of telling me that it needed hydration on the underlayer. So I had to start hydrating my skin. The more I hydrated, the more the oil reduced. Now, this is my natural glow. I don't mind it. However, this is it being changed and being affected by me moisturizing. Because if not, then who knows? My skin would look like crazy right now under this light before you guys. So hydrating your skin is very, very important. Do most of your moisturizing at night. And then, during the day, you can wear a lot lighter. So yes, like and even if, let's say you have the reverse effect and your skin is dry, as a result of not using, a moisturizer, and you notice that it's just dry and dry and dry and dry. Sometimes it's hereditary, and the older we get, the drier our skin gets. That's very true. However, if you have dry skin, I'm telling you, using that moisturizer at night is going to help. Not body lotion. Not body lotion. Don't be putting Suave on your face. Right?
That's right. Say that again.
That coconut oil and carry on. No, you have to use not Vaseline either, because those are protectants. They don't do anything to penetrate your pores, right? So you have to use an actual facial moisturizer. It'll say it on the bottle, so you won't be confused. Face moisturizer. But that, Toya, you definitely have to start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. So we thank you so much for all this knowledge. It's been a blessing to not only me, to others,
yes.
and to others that's
awesome.
We're going to get you back, because I want to bring you back, and we're going to do a webinar. So we're going to connect and do a webinar. Okay. And Amina, I don't know if you're still on here. You're welcome. I don't know if Amina's still on here. But
yes.
yeah, so you and Amina, we've come together and we'll do a webinar. Get excited. Okay? You good with it? Awesome.
Oil-free just means that they they lack the oil base, but that doesn't mean that they're hydrating. They're not hydrating. Oil's not the only thing that can hydrate the skin. So the other things that are in moisturizers that hydrate are ingredients like hyaluronic acid, which is great. It's not an acid that's going to like burn you, but it's an ingredient that binds moisture to the skin underneath the surface layer. So those moisturizers are great. Oil-free is just for people who have an aversion to oil. I kind of feel like pish posh, because I don't think anything is truly oil-free, but I think people, who feel like they might have an aversion to oil, there's nothing wrong with oils, but just in case you can't have them for different skin concerns, you can totally use them. I actually use, for oily skin, as I was just sharing with you guys, I actually use something that is pretty hydrating for my skin. I use something by a company called Drunk Elephant, called the Lala Whipped Moisturizer. It has 6 African oils in it. So as an oily person, I'm still using oil-based products. So that is fantastic. And it's helping to actually balance out my skin and give me hydration without the unnecessary production of excessive oil on my skin. So oil-free moisturizers are good for everyone, right? And especially oil, my oily person. So that's a good question. Yes, Naomi, for taking hyaluronic pills and collagen supplements. Skin all plumped.
So don't forget to go check her out, ladies. We thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate all your knowledge.
I believe it.
And something good is going to happen for you.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Comment below. And on your way out, hit the bell button for notification. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Get excited. Get super excited.